Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. My name is Stormie Calder, a shaman, a life coach. I do all the fun spiritual things. In this video, I was just guided to come onto a live stream and talk about the mystery of spiritual awakening and what that means. My guides asked me to be pretty transparent and to show a little bit about what spiritual awakening has been and is when you're actively in pursuit of it. As you're raising your vibrational frequency, as you're moving into ascension. And they asked me to just be very, very real with you guys. I also do want to mention, if you are interested in ascension and enlightenment, I have a 2-part masterclass video series you can get access to in the description, in the link below. That is free, that I think you guys will really enjoy. I also have an Akashic Records training. If you scroll down in the description, you'll find that link as well. That is free. Okay, so where do I want to start? My guides gave me like 3 cornerstone themes, and then I'm just going to kind of fill in the in-between. So the first thing, theme number 1, the mystery of spiritual awakening. Well, actually, let me give a little background first. When people think of spiritual awakening, they think it's like roses and sunshine and beautiful. And I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, most people think there's just one dark night of the soul, but you can have many. The spiritual awakening is always awakening. It depends on your core life purpose. It depends on how much light you can hold. It depends on how much chaos has met you, how much needs to change and rearrange in your life. There's so many things I'm going to say. I'm just going to mosey my way through. Guides, do you want to share anything specifically? I'm going to be so real with you guys because there's just so much content on the internet that shows spiritual awakening as being this really, really easy path. Now, part of my purpose is digesting all the really, really hard things so that I can facilitate ease for other humans, especially the women that work with me. And I facilitate as much ease as I can around spiritual awakening on my platforms. And I know I make it look easy. I make spiritual awakening look very easy. I make it look beautiful. It's like a natural day-to-day process. I'm very good with my emotional regulation. But there are some cornerstone truths about spiritual awakening that are not nearly spoken about enough, and that really, I feel like I'm being guided to crack it open, to open that territory and open that space for some human, very human understanding. So theme number 1 is wisdom is earned. It is not given. God doesn't just dish out wisdom. It is earned. It is tested. It has to be integrated. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what it takes to gain wisdom, because we live in a world and a culture where everyone is starving for knowledge and wisdom and just steals it, repurposes it, tries it on, pretends to have it, and then walks around like with a cape or like a knight in shining armor. Or a princess and is like, I have this information now because I heard it somewhere on the internet, or I heard it from a guru, or I heard, like, that's not how wisdom works. You can't just wear it. You actually have to earn it. There is no wisdom that is given without being earned. It is earned. It is a very, very hard process. Alchemy is a hard, hard process. It's hard on the soul. It's hard on the human ascension path. It's hard on the human personality, and it's very hard emotionally. It's also treacherous mentally. Being able to navigate ego deaths, transformations, transmutations in real time mentally requires such a level of high mental expertise to not get lost and to not move into some level of spiritual madness and actually lose the framework of your mind. These are things that I have become an expert in through the years. I am an expert in consciousness. I understand how to navigate these territories, which is why I can facilitate for other humans, it being a much easier process, and why I make it look so easy. But there is absolutely nothing easy about it. It does take an expert to make it look easy. How is wisdom earned? God doesn't just drop wisdom pearls. No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Wisdom is earned through release, through grieving, through hard lessons, through ego deaths. I'll say through surrender because it is surrender, but it's really surrendering through releasing of everything that you have previously ever known, including you. To find the truth of your soul and then discover how to navigate with that truth as you walk through humanity, which becomes a pseudo conflict because humanity doesn't like awakened humans. I'm going to be really, really honest with you. It's one of the things that I struggle with the most is that I can't relate to most people. And by most, I mean all. So I have relationships and they dabble a little bit here and there, but nobody sees the full spectrum because those of us that do this work, the prophets, the oracles, the deep, deep healers, we're only allowed to share a certain amount and humanity can't catch up. So we're also in these contracts through our life where I'm under a contract with God, which is you're never going to be understood and you have to be okay with that. Probably not by any human on the planet, and you have to be okay with that. And my choice has always been well, it's either that or I go back to hell. Which I'm just not available for. So I project a lot of strength. Something that I heard earlier today, and I don't know exactly why I'm sharing this other than my guides asked me to, but I think probably some perspective for you guys. What I heard from my guides earlier today is that I am quite literally the strongest human consciousness as far as what I can endure without receiving in exchange. I ask for very little from the universe, and I continue to show up and be in service. And humanity has not been kind to me, not just to me, but to people like me. And in the face of every day, I have to walk through those adversities and say, I choose me anyway. I choose to be this version of myself anyway. I choose to be an awakened human anyway. Even though there are literally forces, people, humans, relatives, false friends, that work avidly to break me. Avidly. 24/7. I haven't been able to escape it in over, I'd say over 15 years, but actually my entire life. So, give me one sec, you guys. My guides asked me to share from my heart. They asked me to share transparently what's going on. And I think mostly right now, I'm gonna hit the high notes and then I'm gonna go back into what this discovery process has been. When you hear people giving wisdom, when you hear my wisdom and you disagree with it, or you think it's nonsense, or you think it's interesting and then you try it on, or you take it and you're oh, I can have this now, see, I'm awakened, and you run off with it. You guys have no idea what it takes to create that gold mine to then share with you guys in the ways that I share. And here's my real why. I share the way that I share as openly and transparently as I do because I want people to learn how to love. I want people to learn how to care for humans. This world is devoid of care and of love. The love that is present on earth is so destructive and so lower level consciousness that it's very rare for me to find someone that can meet me in the love that I give. And of course, I'm here. I'm going to talk from my perspective, but I'm certainly not the only. I know other women that are in positions like me that are also doing content like this, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. And we are under such an amount of pressure right now because humanity doesn't want this. Humanity doesn't want us. Humanity wants to crush us. Other humans don't want us to share our truth, don't want us to share what we've been through, don't want us to share our pure expression, because it's threatening to the lies that they live in. It's threatening to lower level consciousness. I typically call this dark forces, but what was shown to me today, and what is also very real, is that humans hate humans. They hate them. They hate them. And I see the hatred all over the place, all the time, and it takes every ounce and fiber of my being to find love in every moment, because all this society is surrounded by is hatred. I'm not saying that love doesn't exist. I'm saying it's actually more rare than you guys know or think. Most of the love that is provided is a lower it's a lower frequency of love. It's a more codependent love. So if you're codependent, you'll find love. Like, have at it. Like, it's here for you. If you're actually healthy, it's very challenging. And, you know, I've been hearing a lot more experts on the internet that are in this space, either in coaching or therapy, that the more that we discover, everybody's getting a little more angry in their tones, because we're all kind of riding the same wave and realizing the same thing. People just want the glossy version of what spiritual awakening looks like. Here's the truth. Spiritual awakening is a constant death cycle. It's a constant release of everything that you know of yourself. Sometimes we die mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Your near-death experiences are part of that at the physical level. And sometimes we live to tell stories. Wisdom is a contract with death contracts. You can't get one without the other. You can't get life without seeing the perspective of death and being willing to allow parts of your personality, relationships, ways of being, places of living, like places of being, whatever's not working, at some point will die. Unless you want to stay asleep. And we're in a very difficult human period right now, and I don't see it letting up anytime soon. So I think the loving, strong part of me is trying to say to you, like, this stuff's not going to get any easier, and I'm on the very deep end of it, and it's hard. So for you guys, like, I don't know where we're going as a planet in the next couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, but there's something, I keep seeing this. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's really a struggle in the human heart around whether or not humans actually want to choose love. There's a fight in the heart space of every human I meet and at the collective. It's not just a sweeping collective, it's also spiritual people, and it's also people that are not spiritual at all. And there's just so much hatred. And I can't be one of those spiritual practitioners that sits up here and is like, preach love, love is all there is. It's not. Actually, there's a lot of hatred, and a lot of it's aimed at me, and women like me. Women just like me. In the work that we do. This world is actively trying to find a way to crush those who are holding the highest levels of codes, because if they can convert all of humanity back to a sleep cycle. And I'm going to be honest, we're all fighting to have humanity wake up. But the more that I see, I'm like, humanity's fighting for darkness. And when I say humanity, that feels like so broad. Your neighbors, people you know, probably your friends, maybe your spouse, people you know, co-workers. There are people around you that are actively fighting in their heart space to contaminate those who carry love. I would normally call it light, but I'm going to ground this conversation a little bit more. Who carry love, pure source love. I can't tell you how many times I have offered that pure source love, and for it to be raped, stolen, taken from me taken advantage of. It's why I get so high. Like, I get so high and mighty. Like, I get so protective over my energy. And you'll see this with a lot of women that are similar to me. A lot of psychics, a lot of oracles. goddess archetypes, we're in such protection mode. Those who don't have protectors. So I'm single, I don't have that. So I have to produce that fight as well as the love, which is absolutely exhausting. So when you see women that are softer in their awakening, look for the ring on their finger. Because that man is providing the spiritual support so that that woman can speak freely without getting slammed in the ways that I get slammed daily. The hatred that I receive daily. It's hard. It's hard. All of this to say, when you receive my wisdom, respect it. Give the respect where it's due. Don't throw it out immediately. If you're here and you're on an awakening journey, don't just take stuff from me. I would say from the internet, but from me or women like me that have put the fucking work in. Respect it like an elder. Respect it. And even as I say that, I'm like, oh dear God, this community, like nobody respects elders either. They just leave them to die in homes. Like, so even if I say respect it like an elder, most of you aren't going to get it. That's what's unfortunate. The society is so broken. And the more that I awaken, the more that my consciousness expands, I'm just like, we're in trouble. I don't know how it gets fixed. I don't have, again, like I've really, this last level of expansion I've just gone through. I'm like, I don't have solutions. All I have is my perspective, and all I can do is just be as open and aware and awake as I can, and share the reality of these processes so that people can find the awakening within themselves, because it's not going to be one human, it's not going to be 10 humans, it's not going to be 144,000 humans. Like, there needs to be a shift. There has to be a shift. We have been dodging World War III timelines for like 9 months. Spiritually, energetically, I've been on the most high frequencies helping to fight them, because I'm one of those humans that can do that work. But like, humanity hates humanity. Humanity wants to see a world war. Americans especially, by the way. Most of this is stemming from America. The consciousness, and I this isn't like easy stuff to talk about, but I can't dodge it with you guys. I can't. It would be so rude of me to just place on a pretty face, be narcissistic, and be like, come join me. If you pay me, we'll all be good. Like all the narcissists do. Like, if you guys notice, I give out a lot of content for free. I give content at every level, because I'm like, if you're right for me, you'll come in. If you want this to be an easy process, you'll come in. But for the rest, like, there still needs to be a lot of information that needs to be somehow disseminated, woken up, inspired, and I just wish humans would care about humans. All I do is care about humans. Because I've had to produce all of that care, love, and attention for myself my entire life. Has been me, self-supporting me. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. I have had to support me. And I see how people treat, how do I want to say this? It's almost like how people treat me. They're like, oh, well, she's got it all together. Well, it's like, well, yeah. But also, like, do you think this shit doesn't come at a huge cost? The cost is tremendous. And if people can't respect those that are awakened, again, it's not just me. I see it with the women that I follow all around the internet, mostly Americans that are in these oracle prophet positions, spiritually. Like, if you can't respect the people that are actually disseminating the real wisdom, what are you doing to the people on the street? What are you doing to the people at home? Do you actually care about humans? I volunteer at homeless shelters and food banks, and I connect with the humans. Because humans that are homeless, humans that are having difficulty, like, you can see just the level, especially in LA, just the level of differences of characters and the realization that they did not put themselves there. Most of them didn't. A lot of them just ran into difficult life experiences, difficult trauma over and over and over again, and nobody was there to help them. until they fall to the bottom of society. While you guys are all consuming materialism like it's your fucking job, humans are suffering. I know in spiritual communities we go on the love and light path. It's like, oh, well, what, you can isolate your vortex, and as long as you're not suffering, it's all the same. You're suffering just in a different way. There are many different levels of an awakening experience. There are times to self-isolate and be like, I just have to take care of me. That's cool. I don't denounce any level of it. But at the highest levels, there's this real, like, of course you take care of yourself, but when you see the mass amount of suffering that's happening in the US, in a first world country, in Los Angeles, like, when is human trafficking going to stop? Will it ever stop for humanity? Probably not. Will humans start to awaken and start looking out for their neighbors? I don't know. I think that's where most of my concern is, and where I'm raising some awareness around, is that we have a culture that just is sucking up and consuming off of social media. Like, most people are just like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Then they take that wisdom, they take that information, and they go prop it up. And they're like, see, I'm better than everybody else, especially Americans, by the way. I'm better than everybody else. I have it together. Now you can pay me for that. And they commoditize the whole thing. And they don't realize that every ounce of wisdom is gained off of someone else's suffering. What sort of suffering? Depends on the human. My suffering is spiritual awakening. Is there an opposite to that? No. The path chooses you. Most people deny their paths because to actually awaken yourself takes real grit, real perseverance. My guides told me earlier today that nobody else could actually have gone through the situations I have and made it out with this, the way that I have. The beauty that I carry, the love that I carry, the lightness. I'm so light. I don't carry the trauma with me. And they were reminding me this today because I don't know that it's really settled in for myself. I don't know that I completely understand it because I'm like, well, I just do what I got to do. And they're like, your strength, people are missing. They think that strength comes from gifts, comes from ease, comes from support, comes from love. No. That strength comes from hate. Other people hating me. That strength comes from grit of survival. And I'm certainly not the only going through this shit. I know a lot of women. I've coached a lot of women through this. The survival of being under severely abusive conditions and saying, I have to choose my life. I have to choose my life, or I give that life up. And in dire situations, you see mothers with their children saying, I have to choose my child's life. And that's where it kicks in a lot for women. It's like, I can't have my child live in those conditions. But there are a lot of women, there are 50%, I heard this stat recently, 50% of women in the US are not choosing to have children. So there's a lot, there's still single moms going through this and stuff, but there's a lot of just women that just don't have the support and are making it happen anyway and are finding their way through anyway. And the collective audacity of continuing any level of misogyny. I had a conversation with someone a couple of days ago. I don't drink, you guys. And this woman was talking to me and she was like, oh yeah, I always cover my drinks. And she was like in her 40s. And I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, I don't even drink. I certainly wouldn't leave a drink out by any means, like ever. Even at coffee shops, I cover my drinks. I hold my drinks. I take them with me. And I said that to her. And she was like, yeah. She was like, one of my friends got roofied last week. And she was like, I got roofied a few weeks ago. And I'm like, this is insane. I do live in LA. It is a metro area. The numbers are going to be higher than a lot of the rest of the country, between LA and New York. But the level of hatred towards women, especially, is pure insanity. And I don't know how else to handle it other than to just raise some awareness around it, for A, other women to feel heard, B, other women to continue to keep their head on a swivel because it is absolutely necessary, and C, for men, for the good men to realize what's going on. I know at least a half a dozen people that have been roofied in the last year. People, women, that have been drugged. Aware, awake people. Not getting wasted, not being irresponsible. That's me personally, and I'm not like a party person. I'm not like running through all my relations. Like if I was more enveloped into like more of LA culture and society, those numbers would be higher. And I wonder why no one's talking about it. B, why do women think it's normal and we all just have to eat that? Like everybody's holding it by themselves. Like, oh, I have it. And then they carry shame. They're like, oh yeah, I was roofied. That means that I did something wrong. I must have not looked after my drink. Like, and then they don't want to share it. I don't understand the levels of hatred. And it's not like spiritual communities don't have it. They just hide it. Same hatred, displaced in a different way. Some of that hatred is awake people versus people that aren't awake. Some of that hatred is, well, if you don't speak my specific talk spiritually, then you're not like me, then I'm better than you. There's so much spiritual superiority, which is like no different than narcissism. It's no different than pounding beers at a club. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's all relative. And I think there's this isolated bubble around spirituality where it's like, oh my God, we are the ones that are saved. In one way, sure. But I think there's a real lack of understanding of what spiritual awakening is. You guys are very, very lucky to follow me. You're like literally, like I can't sidestep this. You are lucky that I share as openly as I do. I share as openly as I do because I fucking care. I would do this stuff whether or not I got paid. I care. I am a humane person. I've been through it. So I care about people. There's too much misogyny, both from women and from men. It's not just a masculine trait. Women are misogynists too. There's too much discarding of human value. You guys would never assume someone like me would be discarded. I know countless people that discard me, that are like, that use me, that try to abuse me, like for my spiritual gifts as well. The amount of friendships where I was like, oh, this was never a two-way street. The amount of awakenings I've had to have around friendships, soulmates. Soulmates. Soulmate friends, soulmate lovers, life partners that were supposed to be around and then dip out. Nobody wants to be there for what it actually takes. They'd rather everyone, all of these people that I've encountered, and everybody's going to have a different level of awakening. It depends on where your awakening experience is, okay? I'm just talking about mine right now. Because I'm at that full expansion. Like, I'm at the expansion of what it is to be human. And I'm constantly like, okay, well, what is it to be human then? Because, like, when do we get met in the high? How long is it going to take for humans to wake up and be like, I choose love. I choose love. Like, actual, true love. Transparent love. The love that is a gift from God that is not looking for any sort of transaction in exchange. The love that is here because there's another human in front of you that needs love. Not because you need anything from them. Of course, I'm saying all of this with discernment. I'm not telling, there are things that I've done in the past that, like, I'm not telling you to go hug homeless people. I'm so loving. It's like that one had to hit me real hard. I won't get into it. I hugged a homeless man and I was like, oh my God, that was the worst decision I've made. One of the worst decisions I've made in my life. I could feel it. And I remember asking God, I was like, well, who's going to love him? And they were like, it can't be you. They were like, you want to get raped? It can't be you. Someone's got to love him, sure. Pray that people start to wake up. Use discernment. I'll make a bit out of that one day, but people are so starved for love because it nearly doesn't exist. The love that is present that I've encountered throughout my entire life is so transactional. It's so transactional. And it's so codependent. Like with all of these situations, it's like, oh, if I can lower my vibration and steep myself into the worst of what I can be, some of these people will show up. But it's like, is that love? No. If I have to lower my frequency and lower my vibration in order to get access to support, that's not love. It's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's not love. So what do? I choose to love myself. And I say, I will choose to not engage in an abuse cycle, whether it's someone else and their abuse, or whether it would be me abusing myself by forcing myself to fit in through lowering my vibration, through changing my self-expression, for placing on masks and pretending to be something that I'm not. Weak. I would have gotten a lot more support through my life if I was weak, if I was meek, if I was a damsel in distress. But I would have gotten bullshit support. It would have been support from people that would have enjoyed having power and authority over me to then take from me, which is why I never chose that. I chose strength. Every day I chose strength. Spirit has tested the living shit out of me. Around that, I am a prototype for a human that continues to choose strength. And it doesn't take much out of me now at this point. I just literally expect the entire world to be mean and fall apart. And for those of you that would go into some level of psychoanalysis, like, you're just not here yet. You're not here yet because this is a reality. I've been listening to a lot of therapists and coaches and oracles similar to me who have a similar level of experience, and they all say very similar things. We're like, no, this is reality. That whole love and light, like, raise your vibe and just float off into some cloud, you can do it. It is at the expense of something. You're stepping on someone through the process. Because the truth is, in order to live an existence of humanity and completely be yourself and vibrate yourself, there's so much conflict. The society can't handle it. So those of us that are doing it are just exerting all of our effort to punch up and just find our way fucking through. Finding it through every day. Like, how can I continue to support myself to get through to another day so I can continue to be self-expressed? As a woman, it's insane. The women that are married, it's easier. It's not easy, but it's easier. And I say marriage, not partnership, specifically marriage, because the marriage is a God contract. It's a soul God contract that gains a lot more spiritual support. So those of us that are not married have to produce that support ourselves, in addition to what we go through as a human, and straddle both worlds. It's very, very challenging. I'm not saying this for you guys to give up on your spiritual awakening either, because that also, like, can't really be done. Like, welcome to the rock and the hard place that is a spiritual awakening. I'm saying it to raise the awareness of stop glossing over and thinking like it's going to be easy. Let me take this wisdom, eat it up, and then just run off into the sunset. Like, you guys, it would be so much easier if we all just started dealing with the reality in front of us and raised the frequency at the human level. Instead of bypassing, instead of out vibrating, like, how can I be myself, support myself, and continually teach others how to love and how to respect and how to raise kids, raise units, raise families, raise communities, teach people how to treat you, teach people how to treat others. Like, I don't know. I know I've got you guys in my audience too. Especially some of the women. Like, I got fighters in my audience, but And I know I've said this in a previous stream at some point, but like, it's rare. I find it rare for humans to stand up for other humans. And I don't understand it. I don't know if it's just like a part of my DNA. Like when people are bullied in front of me, I step in. I step in. When I hear someone screaming down the street and I can hear that scream is someone being abused, I'm on the phone. Like I'm calling the cops. Like I'm walking down the street. Like literally, like I don't know where the lack of support is for other people. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can just turn a blind eye to things that are going on literally next door. And just be like, oh, well, my life's good. Well, but I'm good. You know, if it's not in your face, don't go like seek it out. But we'll call this the compassion stream. Like, get some fucking compassion. Compassion's not convenient. Love is not convenient. Love is, the definition of love from my spirit guides is making hard things easy. That's love. Making hard things easy. What have you done to make something hard easy for someone else around you? I'm not saying to take that to the opposite extent for the women in my stream that are used to weird, funky, abusive relationships. This is not for you, okay? This is for the rest of the humans. This isn't about codependency. And sometimes that human that you need to help is you. And it's not reaching out to someone else. It's acknowledging like, oh my God, this is how I'm suffering and I can't offer anything else to this world. I need to stop that. And I need to make sure that I can get myself out of this situation. I need to make sure that I can make my transition. I need to make sure that I'm safe. I need to make sure that I can have some level of love and support. Like that is where a lot of women are as well. In the position of not overgiving, not connecting out to everyone else that's suffering. It's like, what suffering are you going through that you're ignoring within yourself? So, respect what I share. Show respect. It's kind of crazy that I even say that because when I encounter other spiritual gurus, I'm like, wow, that probably came hard. Like thank you for sharing that with me. Or the coaches I've worked with, I'm like, thank you. That probably took 20 years of your life to figure out. And what I find is that just the perspective I've been understanding with people is that when it comes on YouTube or what have you, people are just like, take it, that means nothing, and I'm gonna go do whatever I want with it, and like, fuck you. And meanwhile, I'm over here like, you guys think I wanna share about like masculine development and raising kings? Like, it's like my responsibility because we all need to share into these perspectives to re-raise humanity and to re-raise Americans specifically. We're supposed to be global leaders in the world, and we are the laziest, most obese, conniving race. Like, what are we doing, you guys? What is it going to take for people to pick their heads up? I don't know. I'm just doing my little rant, my little riff, you know? Well, I don't know what it's going to take. Start caring less about materialism and more about the humans who suffer as a result of what you consume. I live in LA. It's the most superficial city. I do love LA. It's also very, very superficial. Everyone makes decisions based on what everyone else thinks about them. And if you don't look perfect enough, you will literally be denied access into communities here. You have to look the part. You have to have the right car. You have to have the right human around you. You have to, it's so like grossly positioned around mass materialism and mass consumption. And the more I look at everything, I'm like, these people are, I mean, no shade. It's just like, my guides are just asking me to share this right now. So take what you love, leave the rest. But it's like, you know, in LA, it's not just LA, but in LA, what I see is so many of these humans being like, well, I have it all together. You see, I make this much amount of money. I drive this sort of car. I wear these sorts of dresses. Or for the men, like, I have this biddy on my waist. Like, I do this, I do this, I do this. And when you start breaking it down, it's like, You're wearing Nikes. Those are new Nikes. Okay, cool. It's not about the price tag on the Nikes. How many children are in slave labor because of your act of consumerism right now? You're propping it up. I'm so good. See, I'm so wealthy. I'm so material. Look at me. I fit in with society, but everything you're wearing was designed by 8-year-olds. I'm not telling you not to buy clothes or fast fashion or whatever. Like, I'm just raising awareness because I see it all over the place and I see how I don't fit in. And I don't fit in because I don't care about this shit. I care about humans. I see humans eye to eye when I meet them, and I'm like, I can see immediately what's going on. I don't care what the brand labels are, whether or not you go to Soho House or where you fucking ate dinner last night and how much you spent. I don't care. I don't care. And that's led me to very much not fit in culturally. And it's not just here. It would be the same in New York too. It's just like, I don't know, be mindful. Like, just start considering things. Why do you find value in certain things and why do you not find value in other things? Why do people have more value for their sneakers than they do for humans? Not just the children making those sneakers, but literally, like, we have all this stuff going on in LA, kicking humans out of their homes. It's a version of human trafficking. Not to mention the amount of human, feminine, female sex trafficking that comes through LA. It's like, I don't let this stuff bother me regularly, but I see it and I acknowledge it. And I think what happens with people as they're awakening is they go, oh, the world is perfect. We live in the 5D. It's all just gonna merge, and then the Pleiadians and the Arcturians and the creator, everybody feeds into the planet like these high frequencies, which we obviously need. But it's like, what sneakers are you wearing? And I'm guilty of this too. Like, but I don't know. It's just like, just start paying attention. There's such a lack of gratitude for simple things that we have. And there's a complete disassociation or like demeaning cultures that have less. Like, oh, maybe in certain parts of the world, they don't have running water. It's like, but maybe they're actually happier. The hell do you know? Like, they don't have to keep up with this and continue to buy things on the clock all the fucking time that are funded by children all over the world. Either physically through child labor or through sex trafficking. A lot of these the big governments and the big corporations are run by dark organizations that thrive off of the sex trafficking. And they traffic children, they traffic women, in order to create the blood magic necessary to create the funding behind the scenes. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. And I don't like talking about this stuff, but it's just like, it's just been so present. And I'm like, my guides really just get on stream and start opening up the can of worms, because there's this idea that spirituality or that like being a guru has to like look perfect. And like, I'm not here to be that for you. And a lot of you guys know that. I'm not here to dress up in all white and chant Om and be like, we're all raising into the 5th dimension. It's going to be perfect. We're in one of the most difficult times of humanity because we're actively working to raise into the 5D. And there's so much suppression and so much anger, not just from external forces. That anger is fueled by lots and lots of individual humans that can't find enough love in their heart to see other human beings as humans, to be humane, to stop turning a blind eye, to stop just ignoring other people's suffering. Like, I don't know, like, it's, and I'm not going to take this to an nth degree, okay? Like, use your discernment, okay? There are times to not help people. You have to use your discernment. Trust me, I've gone through the whole route on the use your discernment. Just because someone asks you for money who's homeless doesn't mean you should give it to them, and it doesn't mean you're a good person. So there are two sides to this equation. Really what I'm thinking is all of the relationships that you guys have that you're related to, people you're related to, friendship groups and communities. Americans specifically, I don't know for the rest of the world, but I know this is very American, and it's just dastardly. Like, treat other humans like they are disposable. If you don't do what I want you to do, I'm not going to love you. Or like, if you don't speak the way I think you should speak, I'm going to unfollow you. Or how dare you express yourself online the way that you are? How dare you be completely authentic? I think women should be quiet. Or spiritual women should act like this. Why don't you get to know yourself and get to know the humans around you? Why don't you actually put the fucking work in? This is a message for specific people. My core humans, like, probably don't need to hear this, but there's a lot of you that just, like, are so entitled and so assuming. A lot of y'all are white men, women that benefit from white men that haven't acknowledged that they're women and that they're being destroyed in the process of that, that like denounce their own femininity. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that too. Women hating women, it's real. It's real. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. I learn every lesson the hard way. Except my lesson with spirit, which is just fucking surrender. When spirit tells me to move, I do it. My ears are perked all the fucking time. Thanks, Kiki. Those of you that I'm not acknowledging because I don't need to. This isn't about you. This isn't OnlyFans. Go somewhere else. The mystery of spiritual awakening is that wisdom comes from lived in experience. It's the humility of dying to yourself, of dying mentally, changing your identity, having to release relationships, the stark contrast of the realizations that people that you loved and that you thought loved you don't. Or are highly conditional, or manipulative, or transactional. It happens a lot. There are a lot of people that are like, that's love. And I'm like, that's a transaction. Thanks for the gift. Was that an, thanks, sweetheart. Was that anonymous? Wisdom is earned. It's not given. It's earned. I don't know what else to say. Like, through all of my guidance, you guys have no idea what I've been through. Like, even spiritually, like, I can't give details, but I've been through the hardest spiritual tests. The hardest spiritual tests. Where my wisdom has been grilled. Where all overarching spirit in many different entity forms, much higher than anything most people are channeling, have come to me and been like, we're trying to figure out whether or not you deserve that wisdom. And if you didn't fucking earn it, we're taking it. Many of you think that God just gives gifts openly. No. If you were given a gift, it was either inherited as a destiny contract from your bloodline because somebody else earned it. You were given it for pure survival through this lifetime. That's your earning. You're earning it through surviving. Or you're given the gifts because people, well, I'm all of them and this, because people like me are in positions where we're like guard dogs on the 5D. So in exchange for the wisdom, I have to fucking work. And it's hard to do that work and be human at the same time. It's very, very, very challenging. And I don't know that I'll ever be understood. I don't know if I write a book one day. I don't know to explain exactly what that has been. And I don't even know that I'll have permission to do it. Spirit locks us up. Like 90% of what I learn, I can't share. It's true. And it comes at a very hard cost. So when you hear sweet things from me, or when you hear things from me that you don't like, but that are spiritual truths, say please and thank you. Be respectful. It's been earned. I don't come on here talking about like my last, what did I post? I posted a video earlier today about men and sexuality and lust and all of that. And like, I received so much energetic hatred, and my guides told me to post that video. They told me to shoot it. They told me to post it today. And then there was a huge backlash. And I was like, what did you guys expect? And my guides were like, it had to be done. And I'm like, well, and this is like the day to like, this is like 2 hours of my day today being like, well, what do I do about this? And now I'm in collaboration with them, cleaning up my own energy because of work that I have to do. And that's not like a physical thing I have to do. Like, I don't know that I received much benefit for posting that video. That's a spiritual benefit that I'm providing because the information doesn't exist. And Spirit's like, I don't know half the reason why I have to do shit Spirit tells me to do. I don't know that I can know. And you guys need to know that. A lot of you are looking for reasons, and people like me can fill in the gap on a lot of reasons. And even if you do your own work, you can fill in the reasons for yourself, like why this kind of makes sense. But a lot of it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And you have to get over it. And that's part of like why we're not accepted in this culture spiritually, is because people are like, but it has to make mental sense. It's like, that's not how Spirit works. The mental framework of the human mind cannot contextualize the universal framework of Source. It can't. It can do a damn good job. I'm pretty fucking great at it. But there are points where it just fries out, and I don't mind. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it because I have enough evidence where that works, and because I know how much Spirit is moving alchemy through huge groups of humans, through me, through my live streams, through my videos, or like transforming timelines and moving energy. So I just get out of the way and I just do the work. But for you guys to think that I'm not just like prancing over here on YouTube, like this shit hurts, you guys. It's like, it's a daily process of me being like, all right, get up, you're gonna do it again. like you got this. And I do got this. But if any of you were in my position, you'd be crying yourself to sleep and you would give up. You would give up. So Spirit told me today. They were like, nobody has any idea how strong you are because Spirit tested the living shit out of you. And you became way stronger than we ever thought, to the point where you don't need the lower level of frequencies to give you false love. Like I only fuel on real love. And there isn't that much. Not from humans. From Source, from the planet, tons, plenty. Endless supply. From humans, it's rough, man. It's spotty. We got spotty Wi-Fi connections for love here. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to go on my last two themes here. Theme number 2 is convenience is not a priority for a spiritual path to ascension. So what I find is people are using spiritual ascension to manifest like better cars or, do whatever you're going to do. Okay. I'm not going to denounce this. Like a lot of the shit is not my opinion. It's like literally the facts of how I have to deal with Spirit. How I work with my contracts with Spirit. But like, I do love that The Secret came out. I loved that movie. I loved the quantum movies that came after it. I loved the whole awakening process of all of us kind of graduating into this like, oh my God, the law of attraction. Oh my God, I can change my life. But here's the thing, is that people are leveraging spiritual awakening and turning it into consumer materialism. And that's not what Spirit's about. Spirit will let you do that for a second so that you can play. But convenience is not a priority for the spiritual path to ascension. And if you're playing with Spirit just to get better things, that's like basic. It's not ascension. It's like, it's not ascension. It's just so surface level. And Spirit doesn't do surface level. You can't just like dip your toe in with Spirit. It's like taking ayahuasca. Like, you're working a spiritual practice, like, you have to surrender. It's not like dipping my toe in, like, oh, spirit, I'm only going to listen when I want the new car or when I want the new husband or whatever. Like, it's a fucking day-to-day process. It's a commitment. It's a commitment. Maybe one day I'll talk more about marriage contracts too, because I've been schooled spiritually with Divine Father specifically has like schooled me on marriage contracts because they didn't understand. Like, I'm not going to get into it now, but there's a purpose for them on this planet. And there's a reason why God says, like in many religions, like there has to be marriage and there has to be as little partners as possible. And this isn't me, okay, you guys, like, don't fucking hate me. Don't come at me. It's not me. I'm here to just share what the truth of these realities is. And a lot of it is to keep humans in the guardrails and guidelines to actually stay on an okay path. I'll get into it in a future stream at some point. It's locking your contract in with God. And there does typically need to be another human to help lock it in because most humans can't do what I've done. It's too hard. I have to be just as much masculine as I am feminine. I have to work both angles all the time. I have to be in constant self-preservation and protection as much as I am in constant flow, creativity, and playfulness. And I don't mind it. It's my life, but it is exhausting to switch between them. And it does throw people off because it makes me look polarizing. Not that I care. I'm just telling you the reality that, like, there are a lot of people that are like, oh my God, she has it so easy. Oh my God, she looks so pretty. Oh my God, she does all these easy things and everyone loves her. It's like, from afar, people love me at the surface. Not that many people can handle my heat. Very few. When you get close to intense personalities or strong spiritual personalities, like the fire of spirit is strong. And most people can't handle it. So it's a lot of surface level love. Which isn't, I mean, it's nice, I guess. I need deep love, and I don't know where it's coming from other than it just comes from God. Right now, humans can't support me that way. One day, maybe. I've been clearing a lot of karma. We come in with big karmic soul contracts. I've had to release my previous soul family and enter an entirely new soul agreement. And that soul family, oh my gosh. I didn't agree to that shit. I was like hijacked into the soul clan. Like, it's just like there's so much. When we look at the human consciousness and then we look at spiritual consciousness, it's like, did you agree to come into this body with these parents? Not necessarily. And that might be what some of you guys need to hear. I was supposed to be born to a different family. Like, there are a lot of things that, but do we agree? It's like, well, it's kind of a last minute decision because you need the astrology. You need to come into body with your soul essence, with the curriculum, which is lined up to the astrology. And you need to be roughly in the location where you're born. Wherever you're born is very, very, very specific. And then it's like, okay, well, you want the most ideal circumstances for parents, but shit, they weren't ready, or, oh, I signed up for them, but they actually didn't get married, or they actually didn't hook up, they didn't couple up, they ended up leaving, or like, then you've got the whole circumstance where the last minute sex, the rapes, the everything, like the spontaneous, like passion, like cool, whatever, but souls get pulled in out of the ether without choice. Because it's whatever the vibrational frequency is of that couple that are now consummating unconsciously, consciously. A lot of it's unconscious. I've seen souls like just get looped in and they're like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't agree to this. And some of you guys might be living that. I mean, you guys know, like, I'll be talking about this stuff until forever. There are so many things I've learned about the human experience spiritually. And understanding it, where a lot of the trauma comes from, what we agree to, what we don't agree to, how we get looped into things, how we get stuck on the planet. I know there's a lot of us that are not going to be coming back. I mean, I don't know how much a lot is. Actually, probably a small portion of humanity, but I'm one of them. I'm like, I'm out. Me and Earth are done after this life. Like, I've done enough. It's a hard spiritual ascension process here. Anyway, all that to say, convenience is not a priority. So if you're trying to make spirit convenient, like, good luck. You're gonna rustle the wind, the elements of wind, fire, water, and earth, and force it into submission. You think you're gonna force God into submission? They'll cater to you, but they can't when you're like attached to everything. That's very human. This is why this shit's so difficult. To be human is to have all of these really negative karmic attachments. Which means spiritual awakening is very inconvenient. You signed up for this. I don't know. Somehow we signed up for this. Theme number 3 is all poisons spiritually must be transmuted into blessings to keep going, to keep your light, to keep your strength, and to keep moving forward. That's like spiritual poisons, spiritual diseases. You can't just like leave them on the back burner and continue to ascend, because they grow in power and then they will come at you later with even greater spiritual power. So as we ascend, we have to alchemize the poisons. As you get into different levels, there's more that has to be alchemized. So for those of you that don't know, like, I'm celibate. I'm not in a position where I can exchange sexual energy with other humans. There was a point where I could, because I was in a lower state of awakening. So when you guys hear me talk about sexuality and celibacy, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Like, do wherever you are, and just know that there are different levels of awakening. There are different levels of consciousness. There is a point where the behaviors become very destructive for your consciousness, and that's when spirit forced me to shift over. I didn't really have a choice. It was made very, very clear to me. And a lot of women in my position are in that position. It's like spirit was like, you can't, you will not survive on this planet. Like, you have to now give that up. And for some of you, like, let's go here, because I'm cracking open the can of worms. Is that painful? Yeah, it is. Do I regret it? Nope. I also don't regret my previous, more promiscuous behavior either, because it gave me the context of where I am now. I'm one of those people that I kind of like have to get to know it. I don't follow rules for the sake of following rules. So I worked my sexual awakening actively in a really empowered, like, very feminist way, until it stopped working. And my spirit guides fought me on it. But I had clearance. They gave me clearance. They were like, this is not the best idea. And I was like, you're telling me literally to not be human. So I went through the entire process. I had guides coaching me. I had spiritual clearance. And then spirit shut the doors on me. And they were like, no more. No more. Fun's over, Stormie. Fun's over. Fucking buckle in. Get back to the temple. And I wasn't the only one that got that message. A lot of women I was working with, like, we all got the message at the same time. And it was like, oh, shit. So it was like, okay, then we just start working a new process. Because spirit needs women to hold certain codes in order for the ascension of planetary consciousness. And a lot of us can't mess around. Cannot. Why do I do it? Because I understand growth. Because I understand what I have to gain. Because I know how much pain is on the other side of what I have to lose. Truly, I know. Yep, not doing it. Because I have the wisdom, because I've learned very, very hard lessons over and over and over again. I've had many, many spiritual awakenings. Generally speaking, I probably have a few a year. More, maybe. And then I have to go through periods of fasting. So a lot of this stemmed out of my guides demanded that I was fasting today. So I was water fasting all day, which moves a lot of spiritual energy. For someone like me, it moved a lot of energy. And I'm chill about it because I know what it is. But my guides were like, you need to talk before you go to bed. Like, you need to get on YouTube. I was like, all right. Thank you so much. Are they called gifts or supers? Thank you for the gift. We're all walking each other home. Start caring about the people around you. Start caring about yourself if you haven't been caring about yourself. Start caring. I don't know, even simple shit, you guys. Like when I go to restaurants or coffee shops, like I'm literally like, when I talk to people that are in front of me or that are in positions of service, I'm just like, how are you? And I'm like, but how are you really? Is there anything I could do to make your day better? Like, just fucking connect with people. People are struggling all over the place. I'm not telling you to give energy when you don't have it. I'm just saying this specifically for there. It looks like a lot of the audience, I don't know if it's my audience or just people watching, are so highly entitled that they just see humans as disposable, as robotic. And that's becoming more of a thing because of AI. And I'm not going to shit on AI because I actually kind of like AI too at the same time. But my guides have a whole lot of stuff to say about it. I have stuff to say about it too. We'll have a fun stream about it. Care about humans. Okay. Let me check in with my guides and see if there's anything else I want to share. This is what they're saying to me. Stop staring about me unless you're going to start caring about me. Even as a YouTuber, even as someone on the other end of a screen, the way you consume content on social media, if there are people you love, care about them, even through the screen. Be like, literally, it's as much as a please and thank you when you watch their content. If you're devouring their content, which a lot of you guys are fueling your entire awakenings off of my content, please and thank you. Show your fucking respect. I'm not trying to be rude about it. It is... I don't know how to liken it. It's like going into a temple. Like, yes, you're in my home and we're on YouTube, so it's not going to feel like that for you, but it should. It's like walking into a church and then defecating on the floor and leaving. Like taking shit, like just like stealing from the church. Like, I'm going to take the holy water and like peace out. Like stop with the weird energy that so many of you bring into these rooms. Obviously, I'm not going to clean up the internet single-handedly. But it is up to me to speak my truth and speak my voice and ask for my needs. And I can feel a lot of the energetics. And while you guys are listening to me, show some fucking respect. However way that you can. Honestly, a simple please and thank you. A simple honoring of what is coming through in the truth rather than psychologically trying to damage me through the energy waves and hate on me. Like, send a thank you. Comment thank yous. It's not just me. I'm a vessel of God, although I am certainly enough to receive this. Would you go into a temple and just take from God and then leave? You'd steal from God? You think God's not watching you? God's like Santa Claus, man. God's not just kind to be kind. God's like, what's that naughty list look like? What's the nice list look like? And what the fuck do I want to give them? Oh, that's the gift you want? You bet a douchebag this year. Next! You think God's not doing that? Think again. When those of us that are the most spiritual, that are the most in integrity, are getting grilled at the highest levels for whether or not we can keep our wisdom, what do you think's happened to the rest of you? Start saying please and thank you to God, to the humans that provide, even those that aren't spiritual. Like, you get a coffee, please and thank you. Thank you for fucking working today. I don't even know how these humans pay their rent. These jobs don't pay enough. How are they paying their rent? Thank them. They're slaving away behind a counter dealing with shit customers all day. Thank them. Don't be an asshole. A lot of the women in here are going to be amazing. They're like, I would never. But I see a lot, of people in LA. Like, I'm floored. I'm floored with the entitlement, the disrespect, the disgust for humans being humans. You know, when I go out to dinner, I'm engaging with the servers as humans, and most of them are shocked. They're like, what? And I think about it, I'm like, man, you must be dealing with so many assholes every night. Like, it's like crazy. I'm just like, hey, what's your name? I remember their names. I speak to their name. Like, give people respect, especially when there are people in service that are serving you. You're not entitled to that. their life force. Like they're trying to figure out how to pay their bills so that you can fucking eat at a fancy restaurant. Start honoring people's lives. Start honoring what they do for you. Start honoring who they are and what they have to sacrifice to give you what you want from this world, from this life, with the money that you have. I'm not telling you not to consume. I'm telling you to be mindful. It really it has less to do with the consumption and more to do with the gratitude that comes from your heart when you're in a position of consumption. Like, again, going back to the Nikes, like, get your Nikes. I'm all about it. But be grateful for those shoes because there was a child working on them. Can you extend gratitude to it? Or can you change your lifestyle patterns? Some people can't. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect about this stuff, but I extend gratitude for fucking everything because I acknowledge it. And I do my best to reduce my footprint all the time. Because child labor and sex slavery is real. You guys, I think I'm going to leave this here. I don't know if I'm going to leave this stream up or not. So if you want to rewatch, feel free. Let's see how I feel about it. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Please remember that whatever I'm saying is meant here as thoughts and framework for you to learn how to respect yourself, respect others, for you to reflect on what you've heard, take it in and decide what's for you, what's for not, and create your own thoughts and ideas. I am a teacher. I'm a spiritual teacher. This is spiritual teaching content. This is not some bullshit you eat up on TikTok. Okay? This is not like, I know it's on a platform because I'm meeting the universe where it is. I'm meeting humanity where it is right now. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm not going to leave YouTube. I love YouTube. But what's happening is a lot of people just, they're just like, it's scrolling behavior and everything. It's just like disregarding everything. Like, start giving the honor and the value where it is. I see this with a lot of spiritual practitioners and teachers too. I'm just like, wow, the comments are insane. I'm like, does anyone actually value the fact that this person has decided to be in their life force and give away this shit for free every fucking day? Does anyone think? Like, is there any level of gratitude? I don't see it that often. And I always, like, it's whether you comment or not. Like, I mean, with the people that I follow, I'm always like, thank you. Like, I send it from my heart to the energy. I'm like, this person doesn't have to do this. They choose to do this. I'm not entitled to their energy. I'm not entitled to their videos. They choose to do it, which means I can be respectful within my own heart space of saying thank you. I'm not just going to over consume you because it does actually fuck with energy that other people have. Start to think about it. I know this is like a hotter riff rant stream for me, but again, we'll see if I keep it up. I'm not sure. Spirit, is there anything else you want to say? Candy is not your friend. I'm going to unpack that and then I'll go. Candy is not your friend. I have a lot. That's a huge thing for me to unpack that I will not go into all of it. But that phrase from my guides, candy is not your friend. If it's shiny, it looks like candy spiritually, there are consequences to eating it, consuming it without giving the respect where it's due. I'm telling you, spiritual contracts, spiritual information is not given without sacrifice. They do come hand in hand. What is being sacrificed can be up for negotiation. It depends on how aware you are. This is spiritual law. So if you're just receiving from people candy, pretty packaged spiritual information that doesn't share a lot of the things that I would share, that doesn't share the shadows, because I share them both together so you guys can see the full package, because you're not just agreeing to light. There's always an opposite to it. So when you agree to a light contract, what the fuck are you agreeing to in the dark? I'm showing you the darkness. That's what I do. This is what I do. This is how I walk my walk, and it's hard. Not because it's hard for me personally, but because people don't accept it. So it's hard for me to navigate with humans. It's hard for me to fit in with humans. It's hard for me to be understood, which makes it hard for my human personality to actually feel safe and expansive enough with other humans. because they're just not up to speed. If it's neat and pretty and shiny and easy, spiritual stuff that is easy, there's dark contracts going on. You'll have to pay up at some point. Work for it. Put the work in. God requires work. That sacrifice that I mentioned, it can just simply be daily effort. It could be daily prayer. It's daily practice. It's your work. It's your embodiment. You can't just take it in mentally. You're not gonna become spiritually enlightened and awakened by just mentally taking it in, eating up other people's wisdom and then spitting it back out like a regurgitation. You have to embody it. It has to become embodied. It has to become part of your experience. You have to become that sort of person. So keep that in mind. I share this with you from love and respect. I respect all of your time for being here with me. Thank you. Please and thank you to my wonderful audience. Thank you for letting me be me. Not that you're letting me. I'm going to be me regardless. I'm going to move through whatever struggle I got to be me. But thank you for receiving me, or witnessing me, rather, in whatever way that you have, whether or not you even agree. That's what I got. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I will see you soon. Go check out my other videos. I did an energy update for last week that was very, very potent. Probably related to this, actually. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.